This is one of the spawns that has probably gone through the most amount of balancing changes, and this is my hunt guide to Issavi surface. I want to start this video by addressing that there is multiple and different styles to hunt Issavi. For example, even as low level 200s, we will hunt this 4 years ago with small lures of mostly 8x8s, but the most optimal way of hunting is when you're able to start doing massive pulls. So I will be focusing this video for teams of over 550 range all the way to 1k, showcasing different laps. The Issavi surface has a higher variety of creatures, but the main ones will be the goannas, so praise and charms are more effective for this, followed by feral things. Everything else has less density. Moving on, defensively, the main source of damage for the EK is physical, earth and fire, and is very similar for mages as well. Offensively, the charms to use will be on the goannas and feral things, since they are the most important, so if you don't have more than 3 charms, it's not a big deal. But if you do, next one will be on the manticores, and the ogres are not very impactful, so it's optional. As for the damage type to use, the goannas are weak to energy, and the manticores and feral sphinx weak to ice. So for the EK, go with ice or energy weapons preferably. As for the mages, it's recommended to go with avalanches. In the case of MS, when the running mastery is possible to unlock, switch to thunderstorms. Lastly, as disclaimer, most of these recordings were on a new/closed server, so best and slot items were not available and character skills were also pretty low. Better equipments and skills can lower the level recommended. Also, most of the hunts were done before the latest nerf to Issavi on November 2023, but the last lap breakdown will have the most recent XP numbers. With that said, let's start with the first lap for level 550s. Starting on the bridge to the west side of Issavi, lure the goannas nearby and slowly damage them as you move to the northwest, while the paladin splits up to the left and lures creatures from there. Be aware that at this level, the paladin can do some side box tanking, but is recommended only with the pulls of goannas, and for bigger lures, semi-kiting around the EK is safer for everyone. Next up, EK and ED go north luring creatures on the way, slowly up to this point near these stones. Meanwhile, RP and MS will have gone towards the left and will be luring creatures from that side, while attacking them together so that they are ideally half HP by the time they meet with the EK. Next pull is to the left side. For this one, go together and hit creatures on the way. Then next up goes out of this pool, RP goes ahead to do a lure from the further south. Meanwhile, both mages stay on the EK to damage creatures on the way, and the MS then goes to do a lure from the southwest, combining 3 pulls in one, making this also the most risky one to do, but it can be easier by skipping the MS lure. Next up will be a pull to finish up with the creatures in this area. Go southwest and bring out the creatures behind the mountain, while the RP lures ogres from the southeast. Then go south with RP coming from the right side and luring further southeast. For this pull to be better, you can cut down the grass with a scythe, but can also be left there to make a hiding spot for the druid with 3 walls. Then cross the mountain and split up. EK and druid lure slowly from the right side. Meanwhile, the paladin lures from the left side and DMS grabs the goannas further south. Meet up here by the water, and this pool has a safe spot to hide with 3 walls for the MS and ED. Then the next one is the hardest pull by far. I recommend to switch to some fire protection for this one, and for mages to be ready to mana shield. Druid and EK will lure creatures from the southwest slowly to this point. MS grabs some from the northeast and paladin from the east or southeast. The main difficulty of this pull is the amount of manticores. Not only they attack from range, but they also block the movement from people and can form a wall with their bodies, and for that reason it's essential to make the melee even if there is no space on the EK. For this pull, I recommend to avoid overluring like we were doing, if you don't feel comfortable yet. For example, skipping the MS lure and having him attack the pulls of the EK helps a lot, but it's up to you to decide. For the next one, go northeast. EK and mages come from the left side near the mountain and grabbing creatures on the way. Meanwhile, RP goes far to the right and lures as much as he can from there, and then use the bridge as the setting point. Then for the final pull, keep on going north. EK and MS go north and lure creatures near the mountain, and RP lures from the southeast. Meanwhile, Druid goes to the spot to set up the 3 wall and save a spot for him and the MS. For this pull, you will need to cut down the grass once to make the safe spot, and that concludes the first lap. For the next one, I recommend around level 650. This one goes in the opposite direction, so usually start off at the safest spot on the mountain. Go down and EK together with the AD lures creatures slowly from the left to the southeast. MS goes further and lures from the southwest, and RP from the southeast, all connecting their lures around this spot. Next up, go past the bridge, and EK/ED slowly lure creatures from the left side, and MS/RP do the same from the right side, connecting both lures on this open space far south of the bridge. Coming up, EK go towards the mountain and grab the goannas by the left side of the stairs, and the ED lures to the south of that. These pulls can also be exchanged between the two if the ED is struggling. Meanwhile, MS will have lured the creatures by the shore to the east, and RP comes last with as much as he can lure from the south side. This pull gets easier with levels, so I will say it's easier now than the previous lap. But it's also because the RP goes further south, so he takes longer to get back with his lure, and by then the first one is close to dying. Next up goes northwest. EK grabs the creatures closer to the mountain. ED goes ahead to lure from the nearest stairs to the north, and MSRP lure together from the left and southwest. Then go north past the mountain, and EKED lures slowly everything from the right side. Meanwhile, MSRP do the same for the left side. For this one, it's necessary to cut down everything so that there is room for the creatures to chase, but be aware that there is a few spots that can be cut with the scythe, and that's normal. Then everyone meets up to the north of the wheat and do the pull there. For the next one, EKED go north slowly grabbing creatures. Meanwhile, RPEMS split to the left side and lure as much as possible from there, meeting up in the middle with as much open space as possible, since that will be necessary for mages to run around, and if RP is struggling, he should also semi-kite this pull. Next up, go towards the east, and EKED slowly drag everything from the south side of the oasis. Meanwhile, RPMS take the north side of it, meeting up towards the right side of the oasis. This one I used to struggle quite a bit, since it is a long lure, and by the time we got to the spot, we still didn't do much damage, and it will get hard the moment the second lure came in. And on top of that, there is a few obstacles that make running around for mages harder. Lastly, to finish up the lap, you do a quick pull of goannas by the stairs. Most of the times it will be an apex, but some of them also go to the previous pull sometimes. And with that, this lap is finished. This lap was also used for some 5-man hunts we did with double ED, and for my team at the time, it lowered the experience from about 8kk route to 7kk, so all things considered it was still decent. But then after the latest nerf to Issavi, with the same team that did around 8kk as 4-man, we went down to 7kk, which is what the spawn is giving at around the level 600s right now. Then at around the 700s, it should go back up to around 8kk. The only difference we did on this lap at this point was having the RP go by himself down this tomb on the first pull, and clearing the pool of goannas by himself. This is a bit hard to do and requires a good paladin, so be careful if you try it. Now let's finish up with the high level lap, which consists of pretty much everyone luring creatures, recommended for level 900s or so. Starting off at the bridge, ED stays behind to slowly lure the goannas and creatures from the southeast. EK goes further in to grab the goannas close by to the left and holds the spot. RP goes northeast of the oasis to bring that side. NMS goes further and lures from the northwest. Then the second pull is straight up west. For this one, EK does the slow lure with the creatures close to the mountain. MS goes ahead to the south side to grab the pulls of ogres. Meanwhile, RP goes far left and ED lures from the northwest. Next up for the third pull, ED and EK go down through the right and grab the ogres nearby. MS goes ahead and lures out some from the mountain. Meanwhile, RP is coming from the left side, luring creatures from there. Then cross the mountain, and for this one, each player lures from the corners and meets up by the lake. The pull after that is closer to the middle of the south side. EK goes ahead to lure from the east. ED and MS split up and lure everything from the west, and RP goes ahead to lure everything from the south. Although for this one I should have been 1 or 2 squares south. Moving on to the next one, ED and EK lure from the south side of the bridge. MS comes from the left, grabbing everything near the mountain, and RP will run ahead to lure everything from the east. Next up, going north, RP will go towards the stairs and lure everything from there. Meanwhile, the MSED will lure from the southeast, meeting up on the same spot from the previous lap, and during that I will be the one downstairs clearing down the goannas. This pool has 11 goannas, so every other pool there will be some low HP that I didn't finish off, because this pool requires timing to match with your team in the surface, so that the experience share remains active, and for the most part the timing for me was shortly after clearing the A-box I will need to go up, and in the case it was one of those where I killed goannas from the previous pool, then I could end up beating my team to the next pool, so just wait at the bridge in that case. Now to finish up the lap, the craziest lure. For this one, EK slowly lures the creatures from the stair surroundings down to the middle. ED will go to around Urmaluru's entrance and lure that. Meanwhile, RP and MS go further, RP luring from the far northeast and MS luring from the far south. This pull on this recording look easier than it actually is. Since this pull has 2 people luring far away, they sometimes will take longer or get there faster, and both can affect how the pull goes. Same thing happens with the EK getting there too early, so this one requires to get the timing of everyone and work with that. And that's all I got for the laps. The last two had accurate numbers post changes, making a team of level 900s do about the 9kk route with the third lap, and the 700s make around the 7.5kk route with the second lap. Thank you for watching, consider subscribing if you like the content, and a special thanks to the supporters of the channel, the Guild Causality, Night Star, and Tuna Hero.